So everybody's trying likes aliens. So, I just unfriended the boy who was my first threesome, named James. I only got one mean message in my Facebook inbox, after my psychosis last year from his wife, and I sent him a message about a week and a half ago and he ignored me. Also, his baby mother, hasn't been my friend on Facebook for a year, so I feel it's pointless to just be friends with him. I feel like he's not a true friend, plus he lies, anyway. I am going to be searching through my messages between me and my dad, George, to see if I can, find messages where he's been playing around with my disability money so I can try and get him in trouble for it. I don't see it as being my fault I had a psychosis. My dad was playing into my psychosis last year, telling me that our house is like a prison. He knew that I made videos. I could have gotten in serious trouble over my psychosis. During my psychosis last year, I believe that I was raped, by a person that knew Jeffree Star. There's a guy on my Facebook that I unfriended because he's rude, named Jared that looks like him. So I unfriended Jared today, who looks like this guy that I believe raped me that knew Jeffree Star, the singer and makeup guy, so I unfriended Jared. I have my one friend John on Facebook who is a people coincidence person. Um, I am going to try and go through my messages to see if I can find messages where my dad was playing around with my disability money. I don't see it as being my fault I had a psychosis, and plus, my dad would take pictures of me in my house with his phone camera, as if to say, this is the face of a paranoid schizophrenic, this is my son. I do have paranoid schizophrenia, but still my dad was feeding into my psychosis, by snapshotting pictures of me on his phone. So I unfriended James and Jared today. I don't really ever care if I talk to James again because James is a liar. Um, and I sent him a message and he ignored me, and his wife sent me a mean message. Um, James's baby mother hasn't been my friend on Facebook for about a year and a half, so I feel like it's pointless to just be James's friend. I don't see it as being my fault I had a psychosis because my dad was feeding into my psychosis and things like that. Playing around with my disability money and all of that. My dad did not buy me a car until I turned 21 or 22, and I watched all my friends from school grow up and have fun without me. And when my one friend died, my dad finally bought me a car and let me see my friends. I did witchcraft with this guy named Jeff, and he was my best friend for a while. And his coven makes me think of Jeffree Star, the singer and makeup guy. Because his name is Jeff and his coven has the word star in it. So he is a people coincidence people that is real, even though I have severe paranoid schizophrenia. I don't know. Um, I noticed that nobody's re-uploaded my old psychosis videos. There was a boy who noticed my psychosis and said he wasn't going to expose me for that. And I've noticed that nobody's re-uploaded my old psychosis videos, and I don't feel as if I have to live in fear of them ever being out there in the dark web anymore. Um, I uploaded a channel on this one YouTube and talked about my psychosis, and it has no likes or dislikes or comments, and I plan to never upload anything on that channel again. Um, so I'm going to try and go through my old messages between me and my dad, and see if I can find messages where he's been playing around with my disability money. My one friend, Jay, who is my new best friend, who I'm going to be living with, in New York, told me that my dad can serve 4 years in jail, for being my disability pay and playing around with my disability money, and feeding into my psychosis and things like that. So I plan to try and get my dad, George, in trouble for playing around with my disability money and feeding into my psychosis last year by snapshotting pictures of me, saying that our house was like a prison, and messages between me and him feeding into my psychosis and all of that. I don't really ever care if I talk to the boy who was my first threesome because he's a liar. The boy who was my second threesome stole from me. The boy who was my third threesome isn't my friend anymore, and the boy who was my fourth threesome I have as a friend on another Facebook. So, I don't know, I'm gonna try and go through my messages today and see if I can, and talk to my friend Jay, because my friend Jay said he can have my dad put away, for causing my psychosis last year. I don't know. The time is, and it's going on almost 10 minutes, and the time is 7:42 a.m. here in Maryland, and it is, Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. So I'm going to end this show. I hope everybody has a good, happy Wednesday. Peace and love.